Grey's was my first American accent role, and so I still screw up every single day. Now it's been 10 years, so hopefully I'm a little bit better.
Right.
And in real life, my accent's slowly becoming more American.
Hey, lovely viewers, welcome to our channel Grey's Anatomy Official. Did Grey's Anatomy star Camilla Luddington just hint Link died in finale? There are a number of fan-favorite characters who were potentially in harm's way during the explosive finale of Grey's Anatomy Season 21, but no one seemed to be closer to the blast zone than Atticus Link Lincoln, Chris Carmack. Now, Camilla Luddington is speaking out about what to expect when the series returns this October, and it sounds like bad news for fans of her character's beloved hubby. Luddington chatted with E! Online about the show's impending return and previewed a rough return for her character, Joe Wilson in particular. There are some premieres that I'm excited to come back and film. We've had some really funny openers in this one. I think I can say this, I was really dreading, she told the site. The finale was crazy. Our premiere is even crazier. There is so much going on. It's a rough episode for her, Wilson added of her character's experience in the season 22 premiere. It's really rough. While that's not a direct confirmation that Joe's worst fear might be coming true, it doesn't sound hopeful, that's for sure. When we last saw Link, he'd very recently said "I do" to Joe Wilson in an intimate but last-minute wedding ceremony in which he delivered his vows in a song. Then, in the finale, the couple, who are expecting twins, enjoyed a mini honeymoon on the floor of a storage closet after Link's arthroscopy surgery was pushed, unbeknownst to them. This was due to a hostage situation going on at the time. After they emerged from their temporary oasis, they were both stunned to see the chaos afoot, but once things calmed down, Joe headed home while Link returned to the surgical wing to complete his delayed surgery. The problem was that the surgical wing was anything but safe. Although Jenna Gatlin, Piper Perabo, claimed that the gas tank she used to hold up a surgery room and force Amelia Shepard, Katerina Scorsone, to perform surgery on her daughter was empty the whole time, her husband confirmed that it was not. Before anyone could warn the others who returned to the OR, there was a massive explosion that left several characters' fates unknown. Disney Slash and Marie Fox. Link has been a mainstay of the show since first joining Grace Sloane's orthopedic squad in season 15 and has been Joe's rock through some very tough times, including being abandoned by her second husband, Alex Karev, Justin Chambers, the death of her abusive ex, and her devastating meeting with her birth mother. So if Link is the victim of the explosion, well, there will likely be very dark times ahead for Joe Wilson once again. Gulp. What do you think of Luddington's words? Do they point to a sad fate for Link to you, too? Hit the comments to weigh in below. Grey's Anatomy Hospital faces another bomb threat in Season 21 finale. Grace Sloane Memorial Hospital is bracing itself for another major threat. In news exclusive sneak peek at the Grey's Anatomy Season 21 finale, airing May 15th on ABC, Dr. Amelia Shepard, Katerina Scorsone, and Dr. Simone Griffith, Alexis Floyd, are enthralled in a serious conversation about Simone's recent breakup with Dr. Lucas Adams, Nico Taro, only for the two to be quickly interrupted as Jenna Gatlin, Piper Perabo, a patient whose daughter Dylan was left paralyzed following brain surgery performed by Dr. Shepard, enters the room carting a large metal tank. This tank is full of acetylene, Jenna says to the doctors in the clip, visibly shaken. One exploded at my husband's worksite, and it took down half the building. Ellen Pompeo's honest reason for never leaving Grey's Anatomy branded Weird. Ellen Pompeo has raised eyebrows with her weird reasoning for why she'll never fully leave Grey's Anatomy. The actor, who plays Meredith Grey on the long-running medical drama, left as a full-time cast member in Season 19, which aired in 2022. However, Pompeo still participates in episodes, appearing in voiceover form, and she has now revealed why she didn't completely exit the series. According to Pompeo, it would make no sense for her to quit the show emotionally or financially. The show was streamed more than 1 billion times in 2024, more than 1 billion times, she told El País, adding, "The companies that own the show and stream the show make a lot of money from our images and our voices and our faces." She added, "If I were to walk away completely, everybody gets to make money from my hard work for 20 years and I wouldn't make any money. To me, it doesn't make any sense that everybody else gets to profit off of my hard work. And emotionally, the show means a lot to people. I want to have an attitude of gratitude toward the show. Fans of the show are reacting to Pompeo's remarks, with many deeming her reasoning to be slightly too honest, especially considering the many people involved in making the show, which premiered in 2005, a hit. Refusing to move on from a show because you don't want others to continue to make money after you've left is a weird thing to say on a show with many more people involved than just you, one person wrote. Another said on X/Twitter, "Nah, this seems a bit weird, like yes, a lot of it is down to her, but the show took more than just her hard work. Co-stars, producers, directors, writers, editors, etc." Echoing this sentiment, an additional fan stated, "I get that the show is named after her character, but she is far from the only one who built that show into what it became." However, others said they respected her for knowing her worth. Unfortunately, gotta respect the frankness of this statement. Like at this point, it's just straight up about the obscene amount of money that this show still rakes in for ABC. One person pointed out, with another stating, "Basically, she wants all the coins." At least she didn't try to sugarcoat her answer like others would have and do. Pompeo can currently be seen in Good American Family, a limited drama from showrunner Kate Robbins that airs on Disney Plus in the UK. Sandra Oh urges Dartmouth graduates to dance in destabilizing times as she talks DI and Grey's changes. She fought for Canadian-born Sandra Oh, talked to Dartmouth College's graduating class of 2025 on Sunday and questioned whether bringing up the controversial issues of diversity, inclusion, and equity initiatives could get her sent back to her native country. What if I say the wrong thing? What if I were to talk about diversity? Equity? Okay. What if I change the words like including diverse equalness or diverting equitable inclusivity? Would that still be bad? Could I get deported? See, that should be a bad joke, and it is, but it's not, Oh said during her commencement speech while receiving an honorary doctorate of the arts. Oh, who won a Golden Globe Award for her work on Grey's and another for her portrayal of the title character on Killing Eve, told Dartmouth College graduates she was speaking to them during bewildering and destabilizing times. Camilla Luddington matches our energy, and we love her for it. Please consider this Q&A our formal petition to have her named the patron saint of chaotic moms. Camilla Luddington is one of those people who always seems to look flawless, on our TV screens as Dr. Jo Wilson on Grey's Anatomy, on our social media FYPs, where we laugh over relatable reels of her and her husband, in clips from her podcast with former Grey's co-star Jessica Capshaw. And let me be the one to break it to you. Luddington appears just as picture-perfect in real life. Damn it, woman. But sit down with her for 10 minutes, and she'll be the first to tell you she is not as put together as she looks. In fact, when Scary Mommy caught up with her, it quickly became clear she's a bit of a hot mess mom. We recognize our own, you know? Her mornings, much like ours, are pure chaos. She's not above plying her kids with food. She's even partnered with her go-to-bribery snack, goodness. And she admits to being a bit of an oversharer. As if that wasn't relatable enough, she's also a diehard Swiftie and kindly gave us the heads up that Grey's upcoming 22nd season is going to wreck us. Keep reading to hear everything she had to say and see why we're Camilla stans for life. Scary Mommy. As moms, we both know this is an insane time of year. What has back-to-school season looked like for your house so far? Camilla Luddington. I would like to say that we're super organized, and I'm that mom who has it all together. I definitely don't. It's chaos. For one, I thought my daughter was starting school on Monday. It's Tuesday. That's what I found out today, so I would have dropped her off at an empty school. I mean, listen, you're right. This is the time of the year that it is always so chaotic. I cannot stand making packed lunches. I'm not the mom who looks forward to it at all. I'm not like, oh, I wonder what I should make today? My kids are yelling. They're negotiating on what fruit goes in. Half the time nothing gets eaten. Throwing gedimas into their lunchbox. That section of their food I know is at least going to be eaten. But it's chaos. I feel like snacks are just a crucial part of success for back to school. Still, I have hangry kids at the end of the day. I don't know what your car ride home is like with your children, if they're super chatty. My kids come back like they've been in a tornado. They're sweating. They're so hungry. They're hangry, is what I should say. So true, that ride home, it's just that late afternoon glucose crash or something, where they need more food so they're like little zombies. Still, they need more. It's like they've never eaten before in their lives. It's like they've never seen food before. It's the first thing they ask. I'm like, how's your day? And they're like, do you have a snack for me? No, 100%. Do you have any other hacks or routines that help you juggle everything? Celius. I don't always stick to them, but choosing clothes the night before, if I can remember to do it, because the arguments that I have over whether it's a Spider-Man t-shirt for the day or Batman are ridiculous. So if I can remember, and I'm not super crazy with filming, laying out clothes the night before. That's smart. I never do that, but that is very smart. Ciel, I don't always do it, but when I do it, I'm like, God, you're so smart, Camilla. You're balancing all of this while starring in one of TV's most iconic shows. What has surprised you the most about being a mom in that space? Ciel, the amount of support that we get from Shondaland and ABC. I think that when you're starting as an actress, you're like, I don't know when I'm going to be able to have kids. It'll make work so hard. And I remember calling Shonda Rhimes and telling her I was pregnant and her telling me, oh my God, we love babies. And I was like, you do? Even when we had to breastfeed in the middle of filming, they would yell, cut, and then give us whatever amount of time it took, even though it meant that filming was going to take longer, to support us when we were going through breastfeeding the babies. So, that was the most surprising thing ever. All the moms on set were just so grateful for that support. It's huge to have that kind of environment. And speaking of that environment, Camilla, my girl, that cliffhanger at the end of season 21. Still, do we have to talk about it? So traumatic. Okay, fine, let's go. Is there anything you can tease about where Joe's head is at coming into season 22? Seal, oh my God. I mean, I'm laughing because, you know when you laugh because you're nervous because things are so bad? That's why I'm laughing. That makes me nervous laugh. Ciel, the premiere is so stressful, and she's so heavily pregnant. I mean, it's so much drama. It feels like an action movie, actually. We came away from the table read, and we're like, I don't know how we're going to film this in regular filming days. This is a 20-day shoot. And somehow we did it. It's just nonstop. It does not stop. Even in the table read, I was like, really? That's what we're doing? We're really doing that. Yep, we are. So sometimes I'm like, don't worry, to fans, you're going to see what happens. And sadly, this is one of those premieres where I'm like, okay, well maybe buy some extra wine. I'm already extra anxious because I feel like Shonda has been real generous lately in not killing off people. I'm bracing myself. Still, as you should. Oh God, Camilla. Zilla, I know. I wish I could say you didn't have to, but you're going to have to brace. Okay. Shifting to something lighter. Both you and your husband, Matthew, as well as your on-screen husband, Chris Carmack, and his wife, Erin. Still, they're so funny. So funny. Y'all have both become kind of content creators on social media. Still, yes. Somehow it's happened. I don't know how, but yes. Do y'all ever compare ideas on set? What has this journey been like? Though Erin is pranking Chris. I don't know if you've seen all the pranks. I can't do that because the truth is that we're going to have a heart attack over here. We're in the midst of so much chaos. I don't need to add any fake chaos to my life, but we do. We compare a little bit because I did one skit with Matt where it was based on a real thing. They were showing basically what happened last season on Grey's Anatomy. It was so many makeout scenes with me and Chris. And Matt was like, really? Do we need the recap of that? So we made fun of that. And then I said to Chris, you guys should do the same. They did a little response video, the two of them. We do talk about it. I mean, it's so funny. You can't not. He isn't the only Grey's co-star you collab with. You and Jessica Capshaw launched your Call It What It Is podcast over a year ago now. What kind of conversations are you most excited to have on the pod in the future? So here's the truth. When we do press for an ABC show, you have Disney training for press, and so you sort of know the dance that you do, not getting too into your own life and just kind of talking about the characters. And we had to let go of that media training and just get really real. We've talked about all the things. I've joked on the podcast that listeners could pick up my RX at CVS because they know what it is. So I think I'm just really excited to continue having open conversations and keep being, honestly, kind of vulnerable on the podcast and letting people into our lives more. It's a little bit scary when you're like, well, I have this now, and this was my week. I think that the response has just been so welcoming, and the listeners have really embraced what we're doing. We have time for one more question, and it's an important one. I know you're a Swiftie, If you had to pick one Taylor Swift song to soundtrack your life right now, what would it be? Seal My Life Right Now? Okay. Oh, this is so cheesy though. Oh wait. No, I'm not going to choose cheesy. I was going to choose This Love, and Matt's going to be upset because he's going to be like, that would have been a really cute one, but I'm like, no, never mind. I can do it with a broken heart because Grey's Anatomy. I think that one works. For my real life, This Love. Fine, Matt, I'll choose This Love. But for Grey's Anatomy, I can do it with a broken heart. I'll do too. This interview has been edited and condensed for clarity. These days, her game looks a little different. Instead of snapping the ball on the field, she's parenting sons Riley, and Barry too, squeezing in as much time as possible with Sabera, and, oh yeah, being a hugely successful pop star. Toss in prioritizing her and her family's mental health and challenging herself with new creative endeavors, and you could definitely say our girl is in a busy season of life. In a quick catch-up Zoom, Trainer filled Scary Mommy in on what's happening with her on and off the screen and stage. Scary Mommy, this commercial is so fun. You're sharing the screen with Patrick Mahomes, Julie Freimeyer, and Jake from State Farm. What was the vibe like on set? Meghan Trainor. Oh my god, immediately when I got there, I felt silly. I was in my big, bubbly, adorable pop star dress. I'm trying to do this new thing with my fashion where just everything's big and dramatic. So that was a fun first time we got to test out the new looks. I walked out and I was like, oh my goodness, what am I doing here? Then I was like, okay, I'm going to go meet Jake from State Farm. I was so starstruck, and then he was the sweetest guy ever. I got to meet Julie Pat Mahomes' actual trainer, so I was just like, hello, the correct one. I am just the silly other trainer that no one would want as a real trainer, so nice to meet you. And Patrick was the sweetest guy. Came right up to me. He shook my brother's hand, my husband's hand. He was just so nice, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a great day. We had the best time. I was making everyone giggle on set, which is all I care about. I kept looking at my older brother, who I got to bring, and he was like, you're doing great. As you've probably seen, Taylor Swift was just on Travis Kelce's podcast, and one thing he talked about is how being on stage as a singer and performer is every bit as athletic as playing football. As a woman who actually played a little football and is definitely an iconic performer, what are your thoughts on that? MT, I did a tour last summer, the Timeless Tour. It was my first tour in 8 years, and I was so terrified. I worked so hard in the gym before to get my stamina up and be strong and check my ankles for injuries from the boots I'm wearing and make sure I can dance in them all night. I was training for battle. I remember being like, I'm an Olympian athlete, which I'm not at all, but I was training so hard that I was like, I'm going to survive this tour, and I did. People like Taylor and other artists will tour for years, and I survived 2 months. I was like, I did it. So, I can't imagine what Taylor and Beyoncé go through to train for their tours. And growing up on the East Coast, you didn't hear anything like this. I started therapy when I was in high school, and I felt like I was weird. My dad made me not feel great about it, too, because I had an older dad, and it's just not their thing. Like, my dad would never do therapy, and my mom at 50 just started therapy, because it was weird for them back then. They're like, you have feelings. Get over it. And now it's like, oh, we need to talk about this. It's very serious. When I hear other people talk about their mental health struggles, I'm like, oh, me too. I'm not alone. This is normal. My 4-year-old's been in therapy, like, immediately, because this is so much info he started withholding. He couldn't go potty by himself, and so we got him in therapy. In 2 months, he started going by himself. So, sometimes we just need someone to talk to and release what's going on up here, because we don't even know how much it's affecting our body. In my 30s, I've never been more physically fit and healthier, and I feel incredible. But I'll still notice my brain hurts. It's like, what have I not dug into yet? That's what I've just started now. All breathwork and meditating and Reiki. And it's exhausting, but it's great. I think people really underestimate the importance of shared experience and just getting things out. And a lot of people suffer for so long. It's like, oh, we don't have to? Cool. I choose not to. I'm going to ask for help. And I know it's really hard to ask for help. I didn't for a while, but now I'm like, help me. You've mentioned before that you like to do one thing every year that scares you, and also that you'd be open to growing your family in the next year. Could those two things be one and the same? MT? Absolutely. Life is terrifying. Laughs. Oh yeah. I would love a daughter someday. That's my real dream. I would love a daughter. Maybe two. I want 4 kids because I'm crazy. But this commercial scared me. I was like, I hope I do well. I have 2 lines, and I was studying these lines like it was my Oscar-winning performance. Then we get there and they're like, just riff. And I was like, I studied lines. But it was nice. I got to be myself and be silly. And when I made the whole room laugh, I was like, oh my god, I'm doing it. Thanks for watching this videos. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up.